Give me Alberta liner, come on. Cash it in. Get Alberta liner now. Come on, let's go.
And here comes Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio looking to cash it in. And Punk catches him with the right hand. It's CM Punk.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of the Wrestling Realm. I am Mr. Main Event BDuB. Aside me is the one, the only, the remarkable, the impeccable, the real Dwayne Allen.
Yes, sir.
How about the past couple of days in wrestling?
Wrestling is back.
Woo! You know, everybody always talks about wrestling is fake, it's not cool, you're such a nerd. And this guy right here, I will say day in and day out, that when we started the Wrestling Realm, we said that it would be cool. Before you know it, it would be cool to like wrestling again. I did not know that it would be this cool.
Definitely.
You know, I couldn't have predicted what CM Punk did. I couldn't have predicted the, Triple H coming back, taking over, Man, we're going to take this time, we're going to review Money in the Bank. In my opinion, the best pay-per-view I've seen in probably the past 5 years. What do you think overall?
Man, wrestling has been off the charts in the last couple of weeks, I guess you can almost say. Man, it's funny you said that because I remember, like I was telling you earlier before, there's a guy on Twitter, at Dwayne Allen 24, on Twitter, one of my followers, he had said, yeah, everybody's secretly watching wrestling right now. It's not a real wrestling fan. You just have to watch it. Yeah, people secretly watching wrestling. And then he said, wrestling is back. And I said, yep, it sure is. Like, it's okay, fans. Don't be ashamed. You can turn on wrestling and watch it, enjoy it.
Talk about it.
Talk about it. Come to the realm. We'll discuss it. It's a new day, man. I mean, you definitely see a turning point in the business, man. I'm excited. The business is back, man. It's WWE's found a way to make their product not predictable without all the shot value of something like the Attitude Era.
Yeah,
and this is the difference between the WWE and a lot of different promotions. Is because a lot of promotions, they look at the past and they say, okay, and they try to re-mimic what they've seen done before, and it never works a second time, i.e. TNA. Sorry. They see what happens in the past and say, okay, let's do it again. And it doesn't work. But what WWE does is they're patient. They take criticism, but they really work on, okay, what can we do that's new? How can we add this unpredictable shock value in this PG setting, which they are doing. And it's a little bit more edgy than usual, but it's still PG.
Yep.
So
respond to only those that matter.
Big difference between a lot of people. People, if you have beefs and you respond to everyone that has something to say about you, you're going to look really dumb. Because then you make those people important. Just a side note.
Yeah. I'm sitting there, and before I thought about, I was on my way to the studio, and I said, man, I might not have an angry rant this week. But then I thought about it. I do have one, which we'll get to later. But boy, oh boy, Money in the Bank, Out of both Money in the Bank matches, which one did you like better?
I'll say I like Raw better, but I will say I was impressed with SmackDown's match.
Okay.
Because like I said before in the previous show we did, I said, I really wasn't looking forward to seeing SmackDown's match. But after watching the match and really enjoying it, I was impressed.
Yeah, definitely. Daniel Bryan, biggest shock,
Oh, yeah, that was
to
nuts.
me, it was the biggest shock of the night. I just knew that Sheamus was going to win.
Yeah.
Perhaps even Cody Rhodes or even Wade Barrett, but Daniel Bryan, because I was like, I don't think the WWE value him as much as they should.
Exactly.
But I think, like you said, we're going into a new era. As many people might like to call this the real era. And, this is where WWE maybe step back and say, you know what, wrestling does matter.
Yeah.
Wrestling is important. Let's go with it. And Daniel Bryan winning it. Now, I'm hoping that he is not the first person to win the Money in the Bank and lose.
That would be a dumb thing for them to do, but judging by what's going on, I trust WWE now. We didn't always do so, but I see where they're going with this. It's starting to make sense. It's like you said, nobody expected. Maybe fans of Daniel Bryan assumed it would happen because they're genuinely fans of Daniel Bryan. But a lot of us, we didn't expect Daniel Bryan because, like you said, we didn't think someone like that would be valued in the WWE, because people have figured that WWE has probably taken a step back from wrestling and geared more to entertainment than wrestling. But I think they've listened to the fans, and they're sort of saying that even though we've changed things, we're not going away from what works. You're hearing a lot of people still say World Wrestling Entertainment, even though they've rebranded their name. It was funny because their original response to this whole Wrestling Madness that TNA did was that following week, when I think either first or second week they had their Wrestling Madness campaigns with TNA, WWE had a SmackDown match with like 8 matches. Something like that, and it was all pure wrestling. There was hardly no talking on the show. Just to say, listen, we're doing this for business reasons. Don't think we're going away from what made us who we are. And with guys like Daniel Bryan winning Money in the Bank, it really gives the business a lot of hope, because it says, you know what, they're taking a guy who may not be known for his charisma and value, but he has a loyal following. And WWE noticed that when they released him for the incident happening when he was part of the original Nexus. So judging by that and seeing, wow, the fact that they say, you know what, we're going to run with this guy, I don't know. Like I said,
that's what you say about a loyal following, where he differs from a guy like, you say, Chris Benoit.
Yeah, but like Chris Benoit was, people had fans, but Daniel Bryan, known around the world by his alias Bryan Danielson, had a loyal following because for years this guy wrestled all over the world and became famous all over the world. He didn't just hit the independents and hit the no. He made himself famous everywhere he went.